Good evening, guys. Welcome to an impromptu episode of To the Garage with Start and Park Car. I didn't plan on being on here today, but after some recent news and notes, I thought it'd be kind of fun to come on here and talk the rainouts of what happened at the Atlanta today. We had no on-track action; everything was rained out, and we would go over what happened. Qualifying pretty much getting canceled, and tomorrow's basically just going to be set aside for practice. As of course, we'll go through our usual intro. Get into today's show and we'll have a little bit of fun today. Not going to be an overly long episode, but I still welcome all of you guys for joining me. Much appreciated as usual. And of course, just happy you guys are all here. So as of course, follow me on social media at StartAndParkCar. Follow my good friends ARCA Racing at underscore ARCA at underscore Racing. Follow the man himself, Brad Smith, at Driver Brad Smith. Follow the last car historian beast himself, Brock Beard. And of course, my favorite guy for NASCAR pictures, David Pequeen. So anyway, a lot of anticipation in this weekend. The new Atlanta surface, what would it race like? Would it race like a super speedway? Would we still see some off-throttle time maybe as the tires started to wear despite the new pavement? We don't know yet. Unfortunately, we still don't know those answers, or we still only have questions. We don't have answers yet, as all on-track action today was unfortunately canceled due to just a freak rainstorm that has rolled through the Atlanta area. Hopefully everyone's okay. I've heard it's kind of a scattered thunderstorm. There's a lot of lightning in the area. So again, hoping everyone's okay. But Bob Pockrass kind of kept us on it all day. And sure enough, came out about an hour or two ago saying that qualifying had been canceled and will be replaced by practice, both for truck and Xfinity. Which is a shame. Not really on the truck side. We only had 36 trucks show up, but I'll get into it in just a second about how I feel like Xfinity really got screwed over right here. And a lot of teams, I feel like, were treated very unfairly in this situation. Same with Cup as well. Their qualifying was canceled. We'll go over that. And that's pretty much the gist of it. We have a couple of other news and notes. We might have some ARCA news. I'm going to check in on that. But mainly, this is just kind of Atlanta review for right now. And, of course, we'll have another review after the Truck and Xfinity race tomorrow night. But anyway, looking up here on Bob's timeline, which, again, strongly go follow Bob Pockrass. If you're not following Bob Pockrass, I really don't know what you guys are doing. Trying to find the results here. Here we go. So Chase Briscoe will be on the pole in case you guys are curious. Happy for him. Like I said, the win of last week was a very, very neat story, seeing not only a guy who just scratched and clawed his way to get a win. Now he won the pole. Yeah, he didn't go outright and win it, but still a extra boost for the 14 team knowing they're starting on the pole. For your other favorite guys, the top 5 is Chase Briscoe, Ryan Blaney, Joey Logano, Kyle Busch, and Tyler Reddick. Our bottom cars in the field, 32nd is Cody Ware, 33rd is Corey LaJoie, 34th is BJ McLeod, 35th is David Reagan, 36th is Josh Bilicki, and unfortunately, due to being an open car, Greg Biffle will have to start shotgun on the field in 37th, which I feel like is a shame because that car, judging by what we saw at Las Vegas, could easily qualify. What, 25th, you guys think? 25th? 26th? I don't know. Kind of sucks that they have to start that far back. There was an interesting article today posted that, is Greg Biffle possibly hurting his legacy with NY Racing Team? I don't think so. I think Greg's just at the end of his career now. He's in his 50s. I think he's just out there having fun. That's just my personal opinion. Some other notables in the field. We do have a couple of guys starting in the rear, mainly because of their selection from last week. Martin Truex will start 26th. Christopher Bell will start 27th. And Ricky Stenhouse Jr. will start 28th. Noah Gragson will start 30th. And Harrison Burton will start all the way back in 31st. So we have a lot of competitive cars in the field that will be starting towards the rear of the pack. Now, again, nobody goes home here. We only had 37 show up. My optimistics for this race, maybe on the Cup side, is although these cars do have – now, is it clear what package they're racing? I I didn't really read up on that. Is it the 510 Super Speedway package, or are they actually going to use the 670? I would actually say that the Cup Series will probably race more as a pack than the other series. I don't think Xfinity is going to be pack racing, but I think Cup and Truck will be pack racing, and I think Xfinity is actually going to be where they spread out around the track probably. Again, that's just my opinion, but you guys can put it, if any of you guys are watching, if you guys want to put in the chat who you guys think are going to win. I'm personally stumped, man. I don't know who is probably going to win this race. Like I said, I got nothing on who could win. This is an open game. This is not the same Atlanta we've seen pre-1997, post-1997. This is a brand new Atlanta. Kevin Harvick's advantage is gone. And I think you could honestly say anybody, really anybody in the top, I would say top 15. Looking at this starting lineup here, relatively anybody in the top 15 could actually win this race, in my opinion. So it's going to be definitely a race to watch on Sunday. Even if you're not a big fan of Atlanta, I would say this is a must-watch. And even to the fans in Atlanta who, maybe have fallen out of touch with NASCAR, this would be the one race that I would probably go back to. Like if you're a fan and you live in Atlanta, but you're not really a NASCAR fan anymore, or you still love NASCAR, you live in Atlanta, but you don't wish to go to the race, I would actually I would go to this one. Just this one, see how it is with the new car, the new track. And then if you still don't like it, well, then you can stay home. But if you like it again, come on back. Have some more fun. You guys know what I mean? So that's kind of that for the Cup Series field. Like I said, shaping up to be a good race. Will the Toyota struggle again? Will the Fords, like Daytona, be prominent again? Only time will tell, obviously, until we see the next practice session tomorrow morning. Probably tomorrow morning. We haven't seen a tentative schedule yet posted for tomorrow. Since we're going to get to Xfinity last, I'm going to get the truck out of the way. We only had 36 trucks here. Again, it was pointed out, Jennifer Jo Cobb, due to the Daytona DNQ. If she had made the race, they probably would have went full-time or attempted to go most of the season. But unfortunately, as you guys know, a Daytona DNQ, I would say at minimum, she lost, 35 to 45, probably even more than that. DNQing any Daytona race is really costly, impactful on the team. And that might have been the last straw for that team in terms of a full-time effort. And I really hate it because I still, a lot of people crap on Jennifer Jo, but, I'm a low-budget guy. I like cheering on those types of teams. So I still give a little bit of love to Jennifer Jo from time to time. But she did not enter, which is actually a shame because the Truck Series, unlike the Xfinity Series, the Truck Series is still using 2021 owner points. And with the Glory to God trucks not having any owner points from 2021, if Jennifer Jo Cobb would have entered this weekend's race, she would have made it. That's kind of the weird part about this. Had Jennifer Jo Cobb entered this weekend's race, she would have made the race, even if it rained out, because she had owner points from last season, and neither of the Glory to God trucks didn't. So that's kind of an interesting thing to think about right there. Had Jennifer Jo decided to run this race, she would have made it. But did she have the money to enter? Sadly not. No updates on Norm. Obviously, it would be nice to see the man himself, now 70 years young, Norm Benning, out on track. But I believe he's got to get an updated 2022 body. I don't think the Truck Series is allowing the 2021 body to run. So looks like it'll be until Norm gets a 2022 Chevrolet body. That's when we'll see him back at the track. Because we all remember, if you guys are not remember, last fall, Norm actually ran the original Chevrolet nose from about 2014 to 2019 when the Truck Series did its first Chevy nose flip. Norm continued to run the old nose. And if you guys remember that story back at Gateway where he showed up and NASCAR turned him away, unfortunately, due to that nose. So it looks like Norm's going to stay away from the track either until he gets his new body, or is Norm just done with the sport? Again, we don't know. Norm is not really active on social media enough to tell us. I wish he was, but nobody really has the scoop on Norm right now, which would be nice to know, but that's the case. Chandler Smith is on the pole. Stuart Friesen's in second. Matt Crafton is third. Ty Majeski is fourth. And the recently hacked, but thankfully got his Twitter back, Carson Hocevar is fifth. That was kind of a funny story if you guys had seen Carson Hocevar. Poor Carson got his Twitter hacked. And Carson got his Twitter hacked, and it was all about this, and all this NFT garbage was all over the place on his Twitter. And thankfully, Carson got his Twitter back, so that it worked out for that. Stephen Robert in the chat, short of the new bodies. Yeah, I have seen that in Xfinity and truck that a body shortage has been a small issue that's plagued a lot of the lower budget teams. So hopefully they can get that ratified. But I've seen that being around the garage since about January. Was hoping it wouldn't affect the teams too much, but that probably could be the reason why Norm hasn't gotten his parts yet, unfortunately. Notables in the field, Kyle Busch. Speaking of truck news, Kyle Busch will be driving his 51 at COTA. The driver of this weekend's race will actually be Corey Heim. This, of course, is his first start at Atlanta. Curious on how he's going to do. I don't think he's ever been to Atlanta. Obviously, ARCA hasn't run Atlanta in almost 20 years. So, yeah, interesting to see how he will do. Some other notable entries. John Hunter is back in 12th. Ryan Preece is in 11th. Ben Rhodes, postseason champion, is 15th. Matt Mills will start all the way up in 20th. Deegan will start 27th. Timmy Hill will start 23rd. Ross Chastain, shotgun on the field in a fourth niche truck, or is that a fourth or fifth? Fourth or fifth niche truck. The 41 will start shotgun on the field. The two Glory to God trucks will be 31st for Matt Jaskell and 35th for Brennan Poole. Kind of happy for Brennan Poole. You know, I mean, I still wasn't really happy that he got put aside for Matt Jaskell. I understood why they did it. Obviously, Matt Jaskell's running full-time points, and I love Matt. He's a cool guy. I understand why Tim Vines would want him to run that truck. But I'm happy that Brennan Poole gets to drive. You know, unfortunately, again, we'll get to Xfinity a little bit because I got a lot to say about that. But I'm just happy that Brennan Poole at least gets to drive in the truck race. It is kind of funny, though, is that what it really wasn't shown, but if you actually go back and look at pictures of the 46 and 47 trucks, they were actually running the old 2021 Toyota body style. They were not running the upgraded Tundra body. So that was kind of cool how they I don't know how NASCAR kind of got away with that, but that's kind of, I thought that was kind of cool. So you're like, we had the zombie Dodges, now we got the zombie Tundras. I know that's going too far with the whole zombie thing. I just thought that'd be kind of funny. Other notables, Blaine Perkins in 32nd, Jordan Anderson down in 33rd. The highest niche truck is Hocevar. DiBenedetto is 6th. Yeah, like I said, in terms of this race, again, we've seen the truck series. We've seen the truck series be kind of a crash fest. I fear we're in for one. You know, I mean, we got a lot of rookies out here. We have a lot of people in general that have not been to Atlanta. I don't want to see a crash fest. I know everyone likes seeing a truck crash fest. I'm not a man who likes to see that. I prefer good racing with a couple of crashes rather than an absolute crap show crash fest. So I just fear that that's what we're going to see. That's my fear, that we're going to see a crash fest, crash after crash after crash. And I think it's not really because, you know, you have rookies making stupid moves. I just think that this is such a unique track that even this practice session is just not going to be enough for these rookies, enough time for these rookies to really get the hang of this new Atlanta. You know, they may be able to go wide open for the first couple laps, but even on a fresh paved track, the tires will start to wear. Will they start to push? And when they start to push those limits in the corners, we might see a crash. And I just don't want to see that, unfortunately. But with the truck series, it's kind of common. But yeah, no DNQs on the truck side. Kind of shocking, after the big field of trucks we saw at Daytona. I really figured that we were going to be in the same situation as the Xfinity Series, where we would have maybe 3 to 4 trucks every week going home. That's why I thought about raising the starting field and trucks up. But it looks like that actually was a good idea. That's actually that's why. But it looks like it was actually a good idea to keep it at 36, because it looks like we might actually see some 36 only truck fields this season, which is okay. That's fine. I guess we just know that there's a lot of part-time teams in the truck series. Not every single one of them can make it out to Atlanta, especially a couple years ago when the tire bill for Atlanta was crazy. In this situation, again, I understand why they canceled qualifying. Only 36 trucks. Okay, it's not going to really affect anyone. A lot of these guys, you look at the starting field. For most of these guys, it's probably where they were going to start. I feel bad for guys like Zane Smith, who has to start down in 27th. And, the GMS trucks who are starting, Jack Wood starting 22nd, Corey I'm starting 19th. I feel kind of bad for them, obviously, but I don't know. I still feel like the way that NASCAR handled Xfinity really upset me, to the point where I think they could have done something different. We had 43 cars entered for this race. And, I've had some people tell me why they did this. People tell me why they did this, why they did that. And all I have to say is, at the end of the day, I get it. I understand it. I've heard it before. But Jerry Kennedy in the chat. Yeah, I know. Chastain, NASCAR, the truck series kind of caught a lucky break with Nice running another truck that was able to give them a full field. But yeah, looking at the Xfinity lineup, Noah Gragson will be on the pole. Front row, actually, for Junior Motorsports. Josh Berry will be second. Brandon Jones will be third. Ty Gibbs will be fourth. And Trevor Bayne will round out your top 5. Other notables in the field, Landon Cassell's down in 10th. Daytona West winner Austin Hill's 14th. Moffitt is 16th. Riley Herbst is down in 24th. The man himself, Tommy Joe Martins, is all the way down in 37th. And the last but not least starter in 38th is Jesse Iwuji, who just barely makes it in by owner points. And again, I don't want to be overly critical, but at the same time, yes, because I feel like NASCAR could have handled this situation a lot easier. We had 43 cars for this race, and they canceled practice, which that means qualifying tomorrow will be canceled, and that will be used for the Xfinity practice session. And I'm not really happy about that, because you have a lot of guys who had a good car and a chance to make this race, and you don't even allow them to get off the trailer. I mean, to me, that's just not fair. To like the 77 team, the Bassett team, they bring a good car. And you're not even giving them a chance. Chad Fincham, he has an ex-Gibbs car. It's a fast car. And not even a chance. And even Brennan Poole, he's a good qualifier. He could have pulled off another Vegas miracle. It's just like David Starr. David Starr, again, also a good qualifier. He got the car into Phoenix. I mean, the only one I really questioned maybe would have been Harrison Rhodes, but I still love Jimmy Means. And you never know what Harrison Rhodes could have done too. Maybe Harrison could have pulled off a miracle. I hate that, unfortunately, we just didn't get a chance to see them qualify. I feel like NASCAR could have done something to make sure we got Xfinity qualifying in the next day, because you have to give these teams a chance. It's only fair. They already paid the $2,200 entry fee. They paid, the fuel to get there. Give them a damn chance. You knew the rain was coming. This was well known for 3 or 4 days that there was going to be tons of rain on Friday. It just makes me sad. They had plenty of time to figure something out, to make sure we had something ready for Xfinity qualifying, and they did nothing. And now 5 teams don't even get a damn chance to get off the trailer. Not even off the damn trailer, and they already have to go home. That's just not fair. NASCAR's better than that. We know they're better than that. And like that's the one thing I saw going around and the one thing that I suggested, why don't we do what ARCA does? Have a practice and qualifying session together. The only thing that could go wrong there, and I had people, and I even thought about it myself, is likelihood is you would have people who would get desperate, maybe hold people up on their laps, and maybe have drafting. So maybe that really wouldn't work, but try something. Heck, do what you've been doing the last couple of weeks. Do the practice and then the immediate qualifying session and just extend the practice. Like, there are so many better options than to just send the other guys home. It made me really, really mad because, again, I love Jesse Iwuji. He's one of my all-time favorite guys in the garage. That guy, having a conversation with him is great. But when you look at guys like the 77 and the 13, and I'll even throw in the 47, I'll even throw in the 47 and the 08, all those guys would have been more competitive than Jesse Iwuji. Come on, it's safe to say they would have been. You can't tell me they would not have been more competitive. And those guys have to sit on the sidelines and not even get a chance. And for the 08 team, it's even worse. This is their, fourth DNQ in 5 races? Like poor Bobby Dotter. I'm glad they're getting enough money for the 07 team, but man, 4 DNQs out of 5 races for Bobby Dotter. That's just brutal, man. That is absolutely brutal. And I feel for him, man. I wanted to come on here. I was so mad about it. And I'm like, there's so many better things that NASCAR could have done with this. And, I can have people tell me like, oh, this and that and this, but you guys cannot just, I will have people that will disagree with me. I know everyone will have that. But in my opinion, this could have been handled much better than sending cars home that were actually going to be pretty competitive. Now, were they going to win? No, they weren't. They weren't going to win. They were barely been lucky to finish 15th. But at the end of the day, Chad probably could have gotten probably be 25th or 20th or better. We don't even know what David Starr could have done. David Starr's a good driver on the super speedway type tracks. But at the end of the day, you got to look at Jesse Iwuji. He bought those points last season to get himself into the series for 2022, and look what it's done. Sometimes the things you do in the previous season, and look at what it did for Jesse. It guaranteed them the luck played their way. So whether you like the 34 team or not, and I do, I got a lot of friends on that team, and I like Jesse. I got a lot of friends. Sometimes luck and rain in this business can be your best friend. And, so. And anyway, I'll be optimistic. I hope Jesse gets a good run. I never want to wish anything bad on anyone. Again, I think we were only critical, I mean, that's the word. I think we were only critical on Jesse is mainly because I don't think it's just because he lost it. I think it's just because he was 15 laps down and still lost it. If Jesse was maybe only a couple of laps down and then lost it, I think it wouldn't have gone down as bad as it did. And I hate that. I don't like the fact that Jesse had that kind of hate on him. It's just in that moment, he happened to lose the car in front of a pack of cars. It would have been a lot better if that could have happened a lap later and then Jesse just spun out by himself. So you hate to see how some things like that happen. I don't want to see anything happen to that. I like the 34 team. I got a lot of friends. I want that team to succeed. But I also have a lot of friends who work for the 52, 13, 08, 77, and 47 teams. I have a lot of friends on those teams as well. And I want to see them get a chance to race. And it sucks. But at the end of the day, there's one thing in this business of NASCAR. You either have luck or you don't. And that's pretty much the sport of NASCAR. You have luck or you don't. And some teams have better luck than others. Now, this will really play into the hands of COTA for a lot of these teams. Will we see the 52 team at COTA? Who knows? Will we see the 47 team at COTA? Who knows? Will we see the 77 team at COTA? Now, we did see them there last year with Austin Dillon driving. I actually could see the 77 team at COTA with a Cup driver. Because when you think about it, that car can be used as an RCR Alliance car. So I think the 77 will be at COTA with a Cup driver. Will the 13 for MBM be entered? We know Boris is driving the Cup race, so I don't think Boris would drive the Xfinity race. Maybe Timmy will drive. I don't know. Anyway, guys, I would really watch the owner points this weekend. A lot of these teams need good runs for COTA because, as we know, as we saw last year, that COTA qualifying session was wild. Jerry Kennedy in the chat. Luck or money? Which is better? Man, that is a good question. That is a good question. I can't answer that. Jerry, I cannot answer that question. I can't. Luck or money? Cannot tell you. How many trucks for COTA? I would expect almost 40. I have not seen the entry list, obviously, but I would expect at least 40. Because I think you're going to have a couple of extra trucks for road ringers enter. And, I would expect at least 37 for my minimum and 40 for my most. But, yeah, luck or money, I couldn't tell you which more I'd want in this sport. Probably money. I'd rather have the money. Fine. For me, I'd rather have the money to be able to do it, what I want in this sport. But you also got to have that luck. And fortunately, that 34 team had it. But I don't know if Jesse's going to be driving at COTA because we know he's not the fastest road racer. Going to be interesting to see, one guy that I've been floating around to drive that 34 car at COTA, mainly because he is a good road racer, and that'd be Greg Galding. Greg Galding's not that bad on the road courses at all, and he's pretty solid, in fact. And he's a free agent right now. He's just kind of pretty much doing nothing. And if I was that 34 team, I'd hit him up. I would really hit up Greg Galding because he took that Jimmy Means racing car and put it in the top 30 in qualifying last year in the rain at COTA. Now, that's impressive. That, my friends, is impressive. So if I'm the 34 team, unless you already have a driver in place to put in that 34 car, I would give Greg Galding a call. That's just my personal opinion. Anyway, that was the biggest reason, guys, why I wanted to come on here. I wanted to get it out of me. I'm really upset that NASCAR did it like this because I think the situation with the 5 cars should have been handled a lot better. And if a situation like this happens again, NASCAR really needs to make sure that we give these teams an equal chance. I get it. All right. You know what? The low budget teams, they may not be NASCAR's biggest priority, but you know what? It's low budget teams is what made this damn sport. All right. Because if you didn't have lower budget teams, who would you have underdogs to root for? Because this sport is made with underdogs. We still pride one of the biggest underdogs, Alan Kawicki. He may not have been low budget, but he was still an underdog. It just bothers me why we could not have handled this situation any better. But I've already done enough ranting, guys. Thanks again all for joining me on this little episode of To the Garage. Again, I thank y'all. Still enjoy all the festivities for tomorrow. I checked the ARCA news. No new ARCA updates. The Pensacola entry list is posted, so go to arcaracing.com, check out that entry list. Like I said, guys, follow me on social media. Follow me for live updates. Again, I hate that I had a lot of my favorite guys miss the show, but unfortunately, luck would have it be like that. So, oh well, we'll just have to watch tomorrow and see what it is. But catch tomorrow. We'll have another episode of To the Garage. We'll have another episode of To the Garage covering the Xfinity and truck races. And then, of course, be there live tweeting with me tomorrow night covering the ARCA race. Again, thank you guys for joining me. You have a great rest of your Friday nights. Enjoy your weekends. Don't drink too much. Have lots of fun. And we'll catch y'all real soon. So long, guys.